Anzac Day to me is our National Day of Remembrance that commemorates all Australian and New Zealanders who have served and died in wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping operations, and the contribution and suffering of all those who have served. I honour the Anzac Spirit as I am a custodian of that spirit, as are we all, demonstrated by our dedication and ability to come together to ease suffering through compassion, preparedness, and resilience. I will be commemorating this Anzac Day by attending the 6th Engineer Support Regiment Dawn Service with my husband and son in order to pay respects to sappers and friends who have paid the ultimate sacrifice during wartime operations, as well as friends and their family who are still battling with their injuries of service. Lest we forget.
Good morning, I'm Wing Commander Jack Absalon from Air Force Training Group at RAAF Base at Laverton. What does Anzac Day mean for me? Well, it is actually a day for me to stop and reflect and think about those that have served before me. It is also in particular to allow me to reflect upon those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. It is also a time for me to think about those personnel that are serving on this day wherever they may be around the world. On this particular year, our Air Force 100th birthday, it is particularly important and poignant for me to also remember those 11,100 Air Force personnel who never did get to return home. I do actually have a small history of military service in my family. On my mum's side, my grandfather, he served in the Royal Australian Air Force post-World War II. And on my wife's side, her grandfather, her pop-pop, served in the United States Air Force also post-World War II.
The Anzac Spirit.
How do I honour the Anzac Spirit? Well, for me, with an Air Force, it's about never giving up. It's about persistence. It's about doing what's expected of us to get the job done. I, or should I say we, need to ensure that we deliver on what the people of Australia expect of us. And I say we because it's actually through the spirit of mateship, both professional and personal, that ensures our success.
How will you Anzac Day?
I'll be commemorating Anzac Day this year by participating here at the Shrine. I, along with a small contingent of Air Force members, due to COVID restrictions, which is required, will be representing the Air Force members that are here in Victoria. Lest we forget.
My name is Corporal Laura Power. Anzac Day for me is a time of reflection and remembrance to honour those that have made the sacrifice of service for our country, both past and present serving members of the Defence Force. To my knowledge, I have no military history in my family. I'm the first person to serve. I remember as a young girl in primary school colouring a picture of a soldier around the time of Anzac Day, and understanding the significance, knew that I wanted to be a member of the Defence Force. I've been fortunate to serve as an Army reservist in full-time Army, and now the honour of being a member of the Air Force, and in the significant year of the 100th birthday.
Laura, how will you be commemorating Anzac Day?
I'll be commemorating Anzac Day in 2021, the privilege of marching alongside the Commander of Air Force Training Group at the parade here in Melbourne. I'll also be spending time with my family, my partner and 2 children to pause and reflect. It's important that our next generation are educated and aware of our history. Lest we forget.
Well done.
My name is Aviator Jonathan Mart. Anzac Day is commemorating and remembering those who have come before us, all those 11,100 members of the Royal Australian Air Force who paid the ultimate sacrifice, and those from other services who gave their lives for what we have today. Yes, I have a history of military service in my family. My great aunties and uncles all served during the Second World War, but most notably my leading aviator grandfather served as an aircraft technician during World War II in Papua New Guinea.
Anzac Spirit.
I honour the Anzac Spirit mainly with my mates, the people who I work with, serve with, and ultimately want to be with every single day. We spend this day commemorating those who have come before us and basically remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. I'll be commemorating Anzac Day here at the Shrine with the Commander of Air Force Training Group, my friends, my mates, my co-workers, and remembering those who have come before us, lest we forget.
What does Anzac Day mean to you?
Anzac Day to me is a day to reflect on those that have served, those who are currently serving, and those that have made the sacrifice for their family and friends.
Great. How do you honour the Anzac Spirit?
I honour the Anzac Spirit by the way I wear the uniform with a great sense of pride, the way I interact with those I work with day to day, and the way I interact with those in the public.
And how will you be commemorating Anzac Day?
I will be commemorating Anzac Day by attending the Campbelltown service with my family, who have a strong connection with the local veterans.
Great. How does it mean to you?
Anzac Day to me is mainly about two things. It's about remembering those that gave so much before us so that we could be here today and have the freedoms that we have. I especially think about my grandpa on Anzac Day who served during World War II. And the other thing about Anzac Day that's really important to me is celebrating who we are today as a defence force and what we're currently achieving in this day and age.
And how do you honour the Air Force?
The element of the Anzac Spirit that resonates most for me is mateship, and I feel that that's alive and well today in the sense of closeness that I have with my colleagues in the Air Force, Army and Navy.
Thank you. You're commemorating Anzac Day this year.
Who are you?
So, Corporal Hamish Reid from RAAF Base Darwin, number 13 Squadron. I'm a chef. So, Anzac Day to me is a commemoration of Air Force, Army and Navy personnel past, present and future.
Anzac Spirit in your role.
So, as a chef in the Air Force, we feed thousands of people at a time. So, without your mates behind you, there's no way you're going to be able to achieve that. So, mateships for us is very important. Persistence as well, because we are doing our job day in, day out, same job, same time. So this year for Anzac Day, I'll be working at RAAF Base Darwin Airmen's Mess, and prior to, I'll be giving speech at a local school.
Tell me who you are.
My name is Corporal Emmeline Frankham. I'm a chef here at 13 Squadron, RAAF Base Darwin. Anzac Day means to me a commemoration and remembrance of defence personnel, past, present, and their spouses, families and loved ones who support them. As my role as a chef in the Air Force, I honour the Anzac Spirit by dedication to service. We provide meals for many personnel during disaster relief, and there are times where you need to put the needs of other personnel over your own. This Anzac Day, I'll be awakening for a dawn service and hopefully heading into town to meet some veterans and thank them for their service. To honour the Anzac Spirit as a chef in the Air Force, you need to dedicate yourself to your service. We provide meals for people during disaster reliefs, and there are times where you need to put other people's needs before your own.
I've had some time to reflect upon what Anzac Day means to me personally, and I've decided that Anzac Day to me is an opportunity to reflect upon the sacrifices that previous ADF members have made for us today, and also to be grateful for those sacrifices. I also think it's an excellent opportunity to reflect upon what we as an ADF has achieved in the last 18 months with our contribution domestically here at home with our bushfire assist and COVID assist. Okay. So how do I honour the Anzac Spirit in my day-to-day work? As the Flight Commander of 453 Squadron Richmond Flight, I try to instil a sense of mateship. We have a very diverse workforce with both ADF members and APS members. And I want to make sure that regardless of whether you're APS, whether you're a commissioned officer or a non-commissioned officer, at the end of the day, we're all aviators, and I want that sense of mateship to drive through what we do on a day-to-day basis here at Richmond. And I like to think that we look after each other, whether we're here day-to-day providing an air traffic control service or on the weekend where the guys go out mountain biking together as well. So mateship is very important to me here as the Flight Commander.
Well done.
This year I'll be commemorating Anzac Day down in Wollongong. We were requested to provide a guest speaker for the Wollongong RSL, and one of my junior officers is going to be doing a speech. So we'll be attending the dawn service and also the march in Wollongong, which I'm really looking forward to. So this year I will be commemorating Anzac Day down in Wollongong. We were requested to provide a guest speaker by the Wollongong RSL. So one of my junior officers will be attending the dawn service and doing a speech there. And the entire flight will be attending the dawn service and then also the march. My husband is currently deployed overseas on operations. However, I'm very lucky that my mum lives in Wollongong. So I'll be dragging mum along to the dawn service with me, and she'll be watching me march. This is very special for us because in the 15 years that I have been in Defence, this will be the first year that I get to spend Anzac Day with my mum. I honour the Anzac Spirit day to day in my workplace by instilling a sense of mateship. We have a very diverse workforce at 453 Squadron Richmond Flight with a combination of both ADF personnel and also APS personnel. So I try to instil that regardless of whether you're APS, a commissioned officer or non-commissioned officer, that we're all aviators and we need to work together as a team to achieve a common goal.
Anzac Day for me is about pride and family history. My grandfather served as a RAAF apprentice before commissioning to an air traffic controller, and his wife was a RAAF nurse. Anzac Day to me is about my family heritage and history. My grandfather served as a RAAF apprentice before commissioning to an air traffic controller, and his wife was a nurse. She served at Richmond in the aeromedical evacuation flight, and now myself posted to Amberley serving at 3 aeromedical evacuation squadron. It's about continuing my family's history and heritage, but also continuing with the reputation that we have and making sure that that then follows on so that the next generation continues to have the reputation we have. I honour the Anzac Spirit through my role as a medical technician, through continuous growth and development, through encouraging cultural change and allowing others to follow in my footsteps as I follow in others. This year I will be commemorating Anzac Day with my grandfather. I'll be attending his RAAF apprentice reunion at RAAF Base Wagga, and then we'll be attending the Anzac Day March together, where the RAAF apprentices will be leading the parade. It's very special for me, spending time with my grandfather over Anzac Day, and I look forward to hearing from his friends some of the stories of his service. Lest we forget.
Anzac Day means to me remembering those that have given the ultimate sacrifice and remembering those that have served before me and what they've done for the country that we are in now. I honour the Anzac Spirit with my job by giving 100%, respecting the job I do, respecting the people I work for, and remembering where my job started and how it is now. On Anzac Day, I'll be participating in a catapult party for 23 Squadron in Charleville. Lest we forget.
Anzac Day is looking back and celebrating the history of Australia and all of the soldiers who sacrificed their lives for us and what we have today. I will be participating in the dawn service and the march in Catherine with 75 Squadron at RAAF Base Tyndall. Yes, I have an uncle who was in the Navy. He unfortunately passed, and it really drove me to join the Defence Force in honour of him. I work with my teammates to support them, as well as supporting the wider Air Force and the wider Defence Force beyond that.
Anzac Day to me is every reason why I joined Defence. It's being able to reflect on the past and be grateful for the future that we get to step forward into together. To honour the Anzac spirit in my role in Air Force, I like to strive to complete everything to the best of my ability. To commemorate Anzac Day this year, I'll be marching in a small contingent in a small country town north of Newcastle called Greta. Greta's a really special town to me. It's where I spent a lot of my childhood with my family, and it'll be incredible to get back there as a veteran in the Royal Australian Air Force.
In my role in the Air Force, I'm able to honour the Anzac Spirit by building strong relationships with my mates and colleagues so we're able to support each other during difficult times.